At the same time that we were going through this shift in, okay, how do we get the training, the support, the coaching that we need, we had a whole other side to this, which was our lack of understanding of how to price our services.
You're listening to The Successful Bookkeeper with your host, Michael Palmer. Listen each week as inspiring guests share their secrets of success to help you increase your confidence, work smarter, and build a business you love. This episode of The Successful Bookkeeper is brought to you by PureBookkeeping.com, the proven system to grow your bookkeeping business.
Welcome back to the Successful Bookkeeper Podcast. I'm your host, Michael Palmer. It's part 2 of our 4-part series with returning guest, Teresa Slack. In this episode, she shares the moment she and her sister, Connie, hit a breaking point, where continuing as they were was no longer an option, and a difficult reset became unavoidable. It's compelling stuff. Let's check it out now. Your business is there, and I remember meeting you for the first time, and it was like kind of a, do we do this or do we not do this? And so you maybe tell that transition, because it was, I believe if I remember correctly, it was like you had to get rid of everybody and start anew. So maybe let's jump back into that story.
Sure. Yeah. So when Connie and I had that talk where it was like, do we shut it down or do we give this one more try and kind of revamp everything? We call it Financly 2.0 because Financly 1.0 was not successful. It was a failure. And that was at the time that we had met you, and we were looking at investing in the pure bookkeeping systems to give us the checklists, the systems, the processes, the community, and the support that we needed to get better at this, because we knew that we were struggling with it. We knew how to do bookkeeping. We did not know how to build a systemized, process-driven bookkeeping firm that could be efficient and profitable. So when we had met you, and back then, there was an investment to do that. It wasn't a monthly, it was an investment, a big chunk that we paid. And what we did is we let our 3 staff go because we hadn't learned good hiring systems. We had hired 3 people who were not invested in becoming quality bookkeepers. We didn't have any money, so we hired people who didn't have experience, figured, we can train them and they'll be fine and they'll learn and they'll grow and they'll love this stuff that we love so much. And they didn't. And we lost clients over it. They would do things wrong. They would forget to run payroll. And so Connie and I had to go through this process of let the people go, rebuild our relationships with the clients, rebuild their trust. So we basically went back to clients were split 50-50. I took care of half of them again. Connie took care of the other half. And we did let a few clients go. And then what we did is we again pulled from our personal funds and we invested in the pure bookkeeping system. At the same time that we were going through this shift in, okay, how do we get the training, the support, the coaching that we need, we had a whole other side to this, which was our lack of understanding of how to price our services. So as I said, we started at $18 an hour. We then went to, $35 an hour. And then right in the middle of that, I think it was probably the same conference that I met you. Michael is probably
there.
Yeah,
it was in Toronto down at York.
Yeah, it was the QuickBooks Thrive conference, I think, in whatever year that was. And at the same time, we chose
Thrive,
to go.
I think they called it or something back then.
They called it Thrive. The first one.
QuickBooks Thrive or Intuit Thrive, something like that.
Yeah, I think it was 2016 or 17, something like that.
Right around there.
Somewhere around there. And, you pick what you're going to go to. And we decided to go to a session on value pricing, which we'd never really heard of at that point. Bookkeeping was hourly. It's what you did. And it was run by Mark Wickersham, who runs the Value Price Academy. And we sat through that hour. And I have to say, by the time we left, Connie and I were like, we were so excited. We're like, oh my God, this is the answer. This is the solution. This is what we need. And we ran home and we created 3 bookkeeping packages. We created an entry level, a full, and a premium. And we put a monthly price to it. And we talked to all of our clients and we said, hey, we're going to move you to this great new system. And all of the clients signed up for it. And we thought, excellent. We have solved our problems. No, not even close, because we didn't understand what value pricing was. What we had done was fixed pricing. And, our entry level program was $200 a month. Our full program was, I think, $300, and our premium was $400. And everybody was paying that same price, no matter what scope or amount of work was going on. So we put these in place, and this was before we let our staff go. And we were super excited, thought this was the solution. But actually, Michael, it was way worse, because we were paying those staff hourly. And the staff, again, I mentioned we didn't hire the right people. The work that might have taken me 3 hours to do was taking our staff 5, 8, 10 hours, and they were billing us hourly. And I hate to admit this, but there were times that we were paying our staff more than what the client was paying us. So we were in even more jeopardy at that point. And that's where we kind of came to the, what are we going to do? And that's when we had met you and we started the process of, okay, we need to change everything that we are doing. We need to be brave. We need to do hard things. I always love that statement, we can do hard things, even though you're afraid, even though you don't know if it's going to work. You have to try. You have to, do different things, and you will fail, and you will, and there's so many things that Connie and I tried that it's like, well, that didn't work. And that didn't work. And that's part of the growth. It's part of the learning, is to not be afraid to take that leap and to do things like investing in pure bookkeeping, and then investing in the Value Price Academy to actually learn how to do our pricing correctly. That was a big expense for us at a time that we didn't have any money. But I'm so glad that we did, Michael, because those 2 key things, investing in the pure bookkeeping systems and community, and investing in the Value Price Academy, that is what built what we are today. It is those 2 things. So, for your listeners, it doesn't have to be pure bookkeeping. It doesn't have to be the Value Price Academy, but you need to get the coaching and the support you need to get you to where you want to be, to help you shift your mindset. Because back then, Connie and I, we really didn't believe in the value of what we did. We honestly thought that businesses would never pay more than $200-$300 for bookkeeping. That just wouldn't happen, because we didn't understand our value. We didn't believe in our value. And it was through coaching from you and from Mark Wickersham that really helped us to start understanding the value that bookkeepers bring to this world. And over time, we started to believe that. We started to see the difference that bookkeepers make in this world. We help our clients to free up their time, to give them quality information that they can make decisions with. They're not holed up in their office trying to deal with paperwork. They are out building their dream and their passion and meeting with their clients and spending time with their family. And we are helping them to really build something amazing. That's what bookkeepers do. But it took us having coaching and really starting to understand and believe in the value of the work that we do. And it is that really helped us to start leaping forward and being brave enough to really overhaul all of our pricing systems and our processes, and be brave enough to sit in front of a client and say, your bookkeeping is going to be $2,800 a month and not have a panic attack, right?
I remember some of those panic attacks.
You do.
You know,
I actually
yeah.
was in tears with you on one of the Friday success calls.
Yes.
About it.
And so maybe we'll take a little bit of a deeper dive into some of this, because I'm curious, it's people often, you've got all these vendors, you've got all these different routes you can take. You looked at Pure and you're like, wow, there's something there. What caught your attention? Why did you think that would be something that would help you?
Yeah, I think there was all kinds of things, but I would say the number one thing that led Connie and I to say, yes, we are investing in this system, was that we had a team of 3. And Connie and I kept training and training and training and training, and they kept doing it wrong and they kept doing it wrong. And, Connie and I had 35 years experience in accounting, but it was all up here. We needed to get it all out of our heads and into processes and checklists that the team could follow. And we had started to do that. We had started to try and create those workflows, but it's a massive undertaking, right? Trying to build all the systems and checklists that you need to deliver high quality work. And when you had presented what the Pure bookkeeping system has, with all the checklists, all the systems, all the words to use, the templates, everything that we needed, it was like an injection automatically. It's like, here's all the systems. And that probably saved us a year of, manually trying to build systems and processes. It leaped us forward in our ability to grow because now we had the systems. And I think the other thing that really appealed to me about the Pure bookkeeping system was that it was built on the philosophy of high quality bookkeeping that business owners can trust, that will deliver quality work. I think a lot of bookkeepers, we are that personality style that we want the detail, we want accuracy, we need to do it correctly. And Pure gave us that. And we were able to incorporate them immediately into the systems. And although the staff was still the wrong people, with those systems, we at least could make sure that if they didn't know how to file a Canadian HST return, they could go right into Pure bookkeeping, and all the explanations and all the steps and all the things they needed to know was there for them. And then the other piece that really was helpful for us with Pure was the HR and hiring system, because we did not know how to hire people and we hired the wrong people. And it was using the systems that came with Pure that allowed us to start hiring quality people. And that's when things started to turn around. Good quality people who care about what they do, who are passionate, and the systems helped us figure out who those good people were and gave us the questions to ask and the assessments of how to build it. And those things really helped us turn things around. So I would say that's what really appealed to us about Pure.
It's always interesting to hear what you were skeptical about. That's where people often are. You don't have the money to invest. You're pulling this out of your savings.
Yeah.
It's a risk. It's a big chunk of investment. Mm-hmm. Did you have doubts?
I don't recall having doubts, but I'm sure I did, in the sense of, is this going to solve the problem? Or have I just invested a whole bunch of money and it's not going to solve anything? I think those thoughts, sure, probably went through our heads that, I hope this is all that it was made out to be. But I think it very quickly showed us that it is absolutely all that it says it is. So, but yeah, I'm sure we had those fears in the beginning.
And then the other side of that is, what did you not realize yet? Were there surprises that you got from the Pure bookkeeping system that you didn't think would change? the surprises in life when you do things, you kind of go, wow, I didn't even realize this was going to be of value.
Yeah, I think the HR piece of it was a real wow for us because we bought our initial thing was checklists, processes, quality work. And then when we saw the whole HR piece and recognized that we did not know how to hire people properly, that was a real value add for us.
This conversation just keeps getting better. In part 3, Teresa will share what happened when her and her sister Connie stopped just surviving and started making bold moves behind the scenes that would change their business forever. And with that, we wrap another episode of the Successful Bookkeeper podcast. For resources and links, visit thesuccessfulbookkeeper.com. Until next time, goodbye.
You've been listening to The Successful Bookkeeper with Michael Palmer. For more information and to download the resources mentioned in this episode, please visit us at thesuccessfulbookkeeper.com. Thank you for listening.